Hi, I'm Allison Field. My dad and brother Storm and I are television news reporters, and the saddest stories we've had to cover are the ones involving children hurt or killed in fires. Sometimes the kids were playing with matches or lighters. Sometimes it wasn't their fault at all. We made this video to show you the danger of playing with fire and to teach you fire safety lessons so that you'll know what to do if there is a fire. Now, you may believe you already know about fire safety because you've had practice fire drills at school, or sometimes firefighters have come to talk to you at school. But listen, because there's a lot more you need to know. My dad and brother put on special firefighting gear to learn firsthand the dangers of fire. And one fact they learned and want you to know is that fire is black.
Hi, I'm Frank Field, and this is my son, Storm. Now, we both work in television news, and we decided to report on why so many children are hurt playing with matches, or setting fires, or being trapped in a real fire at home.
Now, what we found out is that most children are just not aware of the dangers of fire. And now we want to tell you some things about fire which you may find hard to believe. For instance, if I asked you to describe fire, you would probably describe it as bright yellow flames, or bright light, or hot flames. But a real fire is often much different.
This is what you probably think a fire is like. It's easily controlled. It's nice and warm with pretty flames. And sure, you've seen the firefighters dashing through the flames in movies and on television. Well, in a real fire, it's not that way at all. In the movies and on television, they have to have lots of light, so you'll be able to see the actors dodging flames. If the movies and television showed you what it would really look like in a fire, this is what you would see. Nothing. Just blackness. You would hear only noise and burning sounds, and that's what really happens in a fire. This is how some people who have been in a fire describe it.
Smoke. So thick and so black that you could not see your hand in front of your face.
I was holding onto the doorknob here and holding my boyfriend's hand, and he went to open the door, so he was like maybe 3 feet away from me, and I couldn't see him.
When something burns outdoors, the smoke from the fire has lots of room to float away. There's plenty of fresh air, and so the smoke doesn't seem dangerous. But when there's a fire inside a building, the smoke is trapped. At first, the hot smoke and gases rise to the ceiling. There's still plenty of air and light at the floor. Then, as the fire grows, there's more and more smoke. It turns thicker and blacker at the ceiling. If you were in this room, you would have to get down low to stay out of that layer of choking black smoke. Down on the floor, there is air you can breathe and you can still see. So if you were in this fire, you would have to get low and get out quickly. But with every second as the fire grows, the smoke begins to lower, fills the room, and before you know it, you can't see a thing. The entire house and all the rooms fill with this black, blinding smoke. People who have been in a fire describe it this way.
It was just pitch black. It was black as there weren't any windows in the hallway, and you couldn't see a door.
It was so black that you could put your hand like this and not see it. Down on the floor, you could see. It's about 8 inches off the floor. You could see that smoke rolling.
I have 2 exits in my apartment, but both the smoke was so thick you could not see in there. I lost everything. It was real black. You couldn't even feel it. You didn't see the flames. All you seen was smoke.
This woman has bandages around her face, and she remembers how black it was in the fire that burned her.
And I had seen some flames shooting out from the kitchen, but it wasn't very large. And when I reached the dining room, there was an explosion and the whole room was in flames. I couldn't see, I couldn't move. The smoke is so black and thick that you can't see anything. It's difficult to breathe. I couldn't see my hands in front of me. I put my hands up to cover my face, but I couldn't see my hands. There's no visibility at all. I heard the fire trucks pull up, and they were in the house in about a minute, and they couldn't find us. They couldn't see, and they called to us. I could make a noise, and they heard me, and that's how they located us. And then they pulled me out, and then my mother.
So remember, while a fire may begin with bright flames, that doesn't last long. In minutes, smoke from the fire will fill the room. the flames disappear in the thick black smoke. In a real fire, you will see nothing. In a real fire, it's black. Now, Dad found that out when he joined firefighters who were learning how to put out real fires. And it really frightened you, didn't it, Dad?
I had no idea how black it would be when I went into a real fire. Now, we videotaped my experience, and I'm going to show you how I got completely lost inside the building when it became so dark from the smoke, I couldn't find my way out.
First, I put on a firefighter's mask and air tank so I could breathe fresh air when I entered the burning building. Listen, you can hear my loud breathing inside the mask once I was in the dark, hot, smoke-filled room.
I want to stand here for a minute to see. Whoops, I'm hitting something. Okay, I can see what you mean. I have to feel around. But let me just turn toward the camera. I can see a light over a camera, and you're about, what, a foot away from me. You're less than a foot. You're right on top of me, and I can't, there, okay, I see the front of the camera now. Now I'm going to turn back toward the fire. I feel the heat is coming. Now, I just walked into the wall here. It was like being an astronaut in space. Yeah, I didn't know if I was upside down. I'd never find a door in this. Okay, I can feel the wall. I just can't imagine how terrible it would be to be inside a room like that without anyone with me.
So, you just saw what happened to Dad, and it could happen to you if there were a real fire in your home or in a building. When a real fire occurs, you won't be able to see. The smoke is often so thick, you wouldn't even be able to see your own hand if you held it up right in front of your face.
Watching a fire, you can see the black smoke pouring out of the windows. You can smell the nasty, stinging smoke. When firefighters rush to the scene of a blaze, they enter burning buildings filled with heat and black smoke. Inside the building, the firefighters face many dangers. They can't see. They have to crawl in the darkness to search for children and grown-ups who may be trapped. Even with all their training and bravery, it is still a frightening experience to be in total darkness and in the heat of a fire.
It's extremely dark, it's hot, it's scary.
I got lost in the apartment. I ran out of air myself, and I was at the point where I didn't know whether or not I was going to make it out.
Many times the visibility is completely zero. You're searching by touching, feeling, listening.
You're just totally blinded. You might as well keep your eyes closed.
And you're not really sure where you are.